Hello, and welcome to the Week 2 PostLab for Chemistry, pH, and Buffers. In this PostLab, we will look at how to make a graph in Excel. Specifically, I'll be using Excel 2016, which is the version here we have at the college. There should be a way for you to get it through downloading through IT. Additionally, it is on all of the computers in the computer labs here on campus. So again, we're going to be looking at Excel 2016 to generate a graph based on our data from the chemistry, pH, and buffers lab. All I've done is opened up a Excel file, a new book, and then I kind of recreated the table from our SLM in the chemistry, pH, and buffers lab. I tried to make the data representative of what we were looking at, so we kind of have a good idea of what's going on. I don't use Excel that often. I really haven't used it since about the last time I showed my last lab how to use Excel. So I kind of spent about 8 or 10 minutes before this video just messing around, make sure I knew how to do things. So if you don't know how to do something, this shouldn't take you hours upon hours upon hours. I'm going to show you kind of a straightforward way to make the graph. If you have any questions, let me know or bring it up in the discussion board. So the first thing I'm going to do is just highlight everything. Actually, make it easier. I'm going to, we'll just highlight everything and then go up to Insert. I'm going to click Recommended Charts. It's going to give me a bar graph, things like that. We don't want to use a bar graph. We want to use a line graph. So the line graph gives us two examples. This one kind of has all the data being the same, has some weird series stuff. We don't want that one. This is the chart that we want just to see all of our data, and there's just a few things we're going to have to adjust after we get it put together. So I'm going to draw it down a little bit just so I can see my data. So the first thing we can do is we'll just give our chart a title. Do it easy, chemistry, pH, and buffers lab. We need to close that. Hit this little plus button for the chart elements because we also want our axis titles. Click that to make it go away. This one, I can put pH because that's our pH axis over there. And I'm gonna actually make my graph just a little bit bigger, so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. The next thing I'm going to do is do my x-axis title, and this should be drops added. So we're almost done. You'll notice the one thing that we don't want to see, we don't want to have this solution drops added line because that kind of throws off everything. So what I can do, and we have to change our x-axis to match the drops added up here in the table. What I'll do is I'll click this button here, and then this little box comes up, and down at the bottom I can click select data. So this gives me the option of what things are going to be shown. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of my solutions on the x-axis. Going to remove my things on the x-axis, and when I click edit, it's going to ask me what do I want to use for this x-axis. Well, I want to use these numbers, so I just highlighted from the 0 to the 15, and when I click OK, now I have to bring those back. Now they are I must have missed, let's make sure I'm not missing. I must have missed one of them there. So back to select data. Oh, and I did not check those. So these boxes of everything you want, everything does have to be checked if you would like to see it. So now we have a graph. It shows my data. We have a legend that's color coded. we have our x-axis labeled, we have our y-axis labeled, and we have a title. So what I can do now is print. I want to print, and I want it to be landscape orientation because see how much larger area of the page it takes up. So this would be a full page, but it makes it easier for people to read and look at. There is a way, let's see, oops, if we want to change the style a little bit, see the marks on the numbers. You know, I'm kind of okay using that first one, and now I have to I wanted to get those numbers back off. I can just go here and turn off my data labels. So that can be helpful, but it can also make it a little bit busy. So that's how you make a graph in Excel. Did not take us too long. I mean, it couldn't have been more than a couple minutes. You may need to pause things, go back, rewatch this again. But if you have any questions or troubles, you know, let me know through email, bring it up on the discussion board, or we can talk about it in the next lab.